Hi, I'm Wally, and today I'm going to show you how to build this super simple miter saw station. It comes with two parts, with a main cabinet and an auxiliary cabinet for storage, as well as a dust shroud, complete with a great dust collection system, and I'll give you more details later in the show. But for now, let's get building. I just want to take a minute to say thank you to Milescraft for sponsoring this video. I'm thrilled to be teaming up with them, and I would really urge you to go check out their website, and I'll put the link in the description below. But Milescraft is always the better idea. So I had the people at my local big box lumber store cut down my 3/4 inch plywood into more manageable pieces for me. I had them cut it into 24 inch by 48 inch sections, and there you can see that there's 4 of them here. So the next step then is to cut all these pieces into their finished sizes on the table saw. So why don't we go ahead and get that done now. Okay, so I went ahead and cut all the pieces to their final dimensions on the table saw, and now you can see I'm just using my jigsaw to cut a 3.5 inch by 3.5 inch toe kick in each of the 4 sides of the 2 cabinets. And there's no magic, there's no formula, it's just whatever you're comfortable with, and that seemed like a good enough dimension for me. Alright, so I got the toe kick cut out, and so now it's time to put the top and bottom on. And the bottom I'm just going to put on right above the toe kick, and so I'm going to countersink some screws from the outside and just glue and screw the bottom and the top. And so that's what we'll do right now. Okay, you guys, so I wanted to give you a bit of a close-up on how simple this joinery really is. And so here's a great angle, and you can see basically all I've done is just butt joints between the shelving and the sides, and all I did was countersink some screws all along the shelf. So if you're new to woodworking like I am, something that you might find helpful is to actually draw a line on both the top and the bottom of each shelf, and that will show you the spot where you actually need to countersink your screws in between those 2 lines. And you can see I've done that on both my top and bottom shelves, and that's actually given me a better idea visually too of where the shelves are going to line up within the unit. Okay, so now I've got the countersinks all done, and I'm just going to glue up the sides. And so I put a little bit of glue on the shelf itself, and then I'm just going to butt it up against the side and put some screws in. So here I'm putting the glue on the bottom shelf, and I'm just going to countersink all 4 of those screws again, just like I did on the top. Okay, so now we've got one side all completed, so I'm just going to flip it over and do the same thing all over again on the other side. So we'll just put glue along the other side of the shelves this time, and then we'll put the other side on, and we'll countersink some screws from the outside just like we did on the other side. Alright, so at this point we're getting really close to getting that cabinet done.
So all that's left to do is to put the back on, and so I'm just going to run a nice thick bead of glue all around the back there, and then we'll put the 3/4 inch back on there, and as you can see it just fits on snug, and we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to glue it and countersink and screw it. One of the last things that we have to do on this project is to cut these leg supports, and I'll need 4 for each of the cabinets, and I'm actually cutting them to just slightly less than 3.5 inches to accommodate the toe kick size that I had made earlier. And it's a pretty simple operation, really. As you can see, it's just a little bit of wood glue on the back and then 2 or 3 screws in the side of it to hold it in place. These leg supports actually offer 2 different things. The first one is some support on the sides for the plywood, but also I'm going to be installing these leg levelers underneath there, and they just take a little bit of work, and it made more sense to put them into the 2x4s rather than into the plywood sides. And you can see how simple this is. It's simply drill a hole, put in the plastic sleeve, and then screw in the leg leveler, and do that on all 4 legs, and then you actually can level out your cabinet no matter where it is on your floor.